thousands of amputees, and America has the best expertise in prosthetic treatment.
Well, I'm an American with Ukrainian descent. You actually see what's going on in Ukraine. There's no end in sight. It's one-sided. The war could easily end just for one person to say stop. Okay, they're waiting for him.
Roman and Ola have many weeks of rehab ahead before they can return home, but there is no dimming their spirits.
Маю право на це, тому що я вже досвідчений, я маю показувати приклад.
I don't have the right to be depressed. I'm experienced. I have to show an example to younger generations.
Tonight, they have a message for the American people.
Ну, я думаю, те, що по новинах.
The things that you see in the news, you're seeing the truth in the news. You know what's going on.
Люди невинні помирають.
People shouldn't be dying. I can't tell you anything more. It's emotional.
Understandable. Lindsay Davis, thanks for that reporting. And coming up, changing the face of video games and tech, the new program aiming to bring diversity to a booming industry.
This week, the indictment of former President Donald Trump. New York City increasing security before his arraignment. So what happens next? More Americans turn to the most watched newscast on television. World News Tonight with David Muir.
Name, image, and likeness, or NIL. The three magic words that have upended the landscape of college sports as we've known it.
It's just the ability to make money through social media marketing.
It changed everything. My concern is, how is it handled?
Critics will say people like yourself are buying these athletes. I mean, what do you say to that?
Cashing in the debate over paying college athletes. Impact by Nightline, now streaming on Hulu.
This week, when Jason Bateman live on GMA, one thing is for sure.
I can't tell that joke. I can't tell that joke. Can I say that in the morning?
Anything can happen.
Plus, Ali Wong, Christine Coe live this week on
Good Morning America.
Friday night.
A man of God, a married woman, a dead husband, and a police wiretap.
It was like a car accident you couldn't look away from.
Inside a murder mystery as it unravels.
They were drinking, partying more.
They open up their marriage, meaning other couples have come into the bedroom.
There is a shooting at the rail yard.
The stunning new 2020.
Someone killed my friend. They needed to pay for it.
Friday at 9/8 Central on ABC.
I'm Rebecca Jarvis reporting from the New York Stock Exchange, and wherever the story is, we'll take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live. Welcome back. The video game industry is booming, valued at more than $100 billion and growing. But diversity in the space is lagging. Now the industry is making an effort to reflect the diverse range of players in the actual games. ABC's Justin Finch has that story.
On the field of Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz Stadium, brother and sister Ernest and JC Holmes making a play for the future.
It feels incredible. We have been dreaming about this day for months.
The siblings teaming with fellow black professionals in tech, launching the nonprofit Code House, fire a new generation through efforts like Tech Exposure Day.
On top of Code House, I work at Google as a technical program manager. And I never forget my first day there. When I look around, there weren't many other people that looked like me, that looked like us. And I just knew that I wanted to be a part of the change to make something amazing happen.
I can't hear you, I can't hear you.
Code House inviting 3,000 Atlanta area high schoolers to meet with insiders from big companies like Google and Netflix, showing black and students of color they too can have bright futures in tech and gaming.
You're going to see diversity in all types of gaming, from the controllers that we use to the storylines that are being told to the characters that you're seeing. More seats at the table means more quality gaming for us and experiences.
Globally, the video game industry is soaring, valued at more than $100 billion and growing. But diversity is lagging. The 2020 National Game Developers Association finds only 4% of creators identify as Black or of African heritage. At Spelman College's Innovation Lab, Black women are preparing to rise into those roles.
I'm super optimistic seeing their own games.
Spelman senior Anetha Evans has already built several games herself in the lab and was among the winners at the first ever HBCU Game Jam. Spelman invited students from more than a dozen historically Black colleges and universities for a weekend crash course in video game development.
When we did a poll, 65% of the students that showed up never did anything with game design or development. So they were all just interested to learn about it and to put a game together.
It was my first time actually doing any kind of overnight, intense game-making session.
After winning honors at Game Jam, Spelman computer science major Madeline Brown looks forward to connecting the world through her games.
I wanted to be able to show a Black woman's experience through gaming. And so I feel like gaming allows for people to step in somebody else's shoes. And so it builds empathy with communities that you oftentimes wouldn't have as much interaction with.
Rickham Game Studio co-founders Brian Ollison and Kim Presley test driving their new follow-up game to their debut Kingdom of Kuru.
Never even occurred to me till I was older that, wow, we're lacking in this space. There's none of us in these games.
So Brian and Kim now carefully craft the kinds of Black characters in their games that they wish they saw growing up. That work quickly making an impact. The two sharing this photo of a little girl who saw herself in their character, Kara.
She was pointing to Kara, and she was like, she looks like me. And then that's when we were like, this is the moment. This is what we're living for right here, just to see that she has that representation.
It was just like, wow, she just sat there in front of our sign and was pointing at the character. And we actually had someone reach out to us on Instagram to do cosplay for one of the characters.
Kim and Brian say including the ability for players to create characters that reflect themselves is critical and proven by the Harry Potter-inspired Hogwarts Legacy game. Now a huge hit with Black players who are showcasing their custom-made avatars and fan-inspired creations on social media.
You realize the character customization was more of just a slider for skin color, just making it darker, but skin color is more than just darkness. Culture is more than just turning down the opacity.
Our thanks to Justin Finch for that story. And for the first time ever, video game MLB The Show is letting gamers jump headfirst into the history of the Negro Leagues. A new game mode lets you play and learn about legends like Buck O'Neil, Jackie Robinson, and Satchel Paige. Our Kira Phillips has a closer look.
The legends of the Negro Leagues like you've never seen before. It's a long overdue moment in the sun, and now you can have your own seat in the stands.
Smoked into left field, base hit.
Baseball's biggest video game, MLB The Show, now partnering with Kansas City's Negro League Museum and its director leading off the game.
The story of the Negro Leagues is not an African-American story. It is an all-American story.
I tell people, if anyone deserved to be in a video game, it's the players from the Negro League.
MLB The Show introduces us to barrier breakers like Jackie Robinson and Satchel Paige.
Satchel had what he called his midnight creeper. He had the two-humper. He had the bat dodger. He had the hesitation pitch.
And even more importantly, some names you never heard of, but you should and will now.
Here's Martin Digo stepping into the box.
And important to Miami Marlins star Jazz Chisholm, too. If you thought the Negro League players are about to get their due, so is Jazz's grandmother, Patricia Coakley, shortstop for the Bahamian national softball team. And inspiration behind this MLB The Show cover athlete.
She stole bases, she hit home runs, and that's all I wanted to do. I finally kind of turned into my grandma, and I feel like that's when I became a big leaguer.
pageantry, culture, and now an immersive experience. A game changer, not just for its newest cover boy, but all of those in love with America's favorite pastime.
Like, I still look at it and it's still like mind-blowing to me. It's like, you remember when you were like a kid and you played a sport and you looked up to those guys on the cover? And like, to be that guy now, it's like crazy for me.
How did it feel to narrate this video game? I know that was a blast for you.
There's a tremendous sense of pride being a part of something that is so groundbreaking as this project, and knowing that there will be millions of young people who now will identify with this museum. So it's pretty special.
Swing and a drive. Satchel will just watch it go.
Very cool. Our thanks to Kira Phillips for that, and our thanks to you for joining us on ABC News Live Weekend. You can always find us on Hulu, the ABC News app, and of course on abcnews.com for the latest news, context, and analysis. Have a great rest of the weekend.
Name, image, and likeness, or NIL.
The three magic words that have upended the landscape of college sports as we've known it.
It's just the ability